So in 1987, my uncle gave me my first figure that would stay in my collection throughout my entire lifetime, and I'll be 40 next year, so that's a long time. The figure he gave me was this cowboy Indian figure, and really I didn't know who it was until 2023 when I discovered my new favorite toy company, Ramen Toys, when they announced their version of the Marshall. I immediately pre-ordered that thing and then waited a year and a half, and now I got it in hand. And not only is the design of the figure really awesome, the box artwork is a beautiful rendition made by Ken Coleman himself, somebody who I was able to become friends with on Facebook as he shared his process all the way through. If you take a look at the front of this cover, you see he does some mixed media where he kind of paints the background and then he uses an actual render of the image, or sometimes the figure itself to like kind of lay out different poses, and then he does artwork on it. I don't know all the words for how he does it, but I'm sure I'm playing B-roll right now and it looks awesome and sweet. Give him a follow because he does great work. I mean, just look at this beautiful moon right here, the texture that's on it, the background of what is New Texas. If you don't know, bravestarr was the Marshall of New Texas. I don't know what was wrong with the old Texas, but apparently we need a new one at some time. But man, I would pay the price for this figure just for this beautiful artwork that we have right here. That's something you're gonna want to like pose and like keep for sure, keep it mint. Inside the box we get another rendition of bravestarr. There's like a poster or the back of a DVD. I don't know. It's a pose that bravestarr is known to do, just kind of leaning on against the wall. Ken did his own rendition of it, of him leaning against a rock, which is just a beautiful design. And of course, we get that awesome Ramen Toys logo. I've seen that logo on hats. I would love a hat, Ace, if you're watching this. Other side of the box, we get that logo of the Marshall and kind of that bravestarr design. This is a third party, so it's not an official bravestarr figure, so maybe it's not bravestarr. Maybe I'm giving you backstory for no reason, and this is his Indian cowboy boy. Back of the box, yet again, just man, Ken, you did a great job. Like, just look at the design of this. Each image on this box art is something I would just pay for on its own just to display. This dude is super Texaned out. The texture all over the box, I don't know if that comes through on the camera, but it's like raised texture, little bumps here. Feels like leather canvas or something. It is just a really nice design. We got the representation of the ears of the wolf. And then we got that lion, which isn't one of bravestarr's powers in the show, but I mean, that's a beautiful lion. I don't care. Like, maybe he does have it, just never used it. Maybe it's in a new season that they didn't come out with. I don't know. Another thing that's really cool about this box is that it does open up, and instead of having Velcro like you get with NECA or something like that, there's a magnet that holds it together, which just really gives it an upscale feeling to it. And oh my god, you just get another awesome design from Ken right here. Of course, you get the ears of the wolf, eyes of the eagle, feet of the puma, and then a lion instead of a bear. But maybe because it's a third party, you don't want to make it completely like the property. I don't know why they used the lion. Honestly, I ain't mad at it. Strength of a lion, strength of a bear. Who cares? Either one will jack you up out in the wild. And then we get a sneak peek to all the stuff that's in the center here. I can't wait to open this thing up. It's been a year and a half since I did the pre-order. I'm excited about it. I need you to go ahead and say those two magic words.
Oh, baby.
We get some guns and a couple hats, extra head sculpts, extra hands, and a bunch of things we'll take a look at here in a second. First, let's take a look at another piece of beautiful artwork from Ken Coleman. This beautiful background of New Texas. It is taped together here at the bottom, so you can't take this apart, kind of display it a little bit more opened up. I'm gonna leave it as is because I want to keep this thing intact. But once again, that's just a beautiful, beautiful background. Usually I just toss these things, but I'm gonna keep this thing very safely here on the floor and then put it back in the box. And let's keep looking at the figure, because we do get a lot of stuff. We get this gun that's in a holster right here. This gun from the show is a very unique design that actually made larger versions of the gun that can shoot lasers at some of the toys. Really awesome, cool toy design that didn't go well because they didn't release the show before releasing the toy. Anyway, even just the detail on this holster is really nice. You get these little nice silver accents on here. The plastic on this feels very durable, yet it's like soft but durable. Like, I don't feel like I'm gonna break any of this stuff, unlike those Yamaguchi figures, which were a headache, and you can watch those videos later if you want to see me go through trauma. We also get this futuristic shotgun looking rifle. Nice vibrant blue paint job on this rifle. You do get a holster kind of like to put it over his shoulder, and this is stretchy, so it doesn't feel like when you put it on there it's gonna fall off like maybe that Trunks figure and its sword that pops off every second. Not the most beautiful thing, but it's durable and it'll last, and I take it. I'll take it. I will take it. You also get this awesome axe, which has its own holster as well. Looks like these pin into the figure. Take out the axe. It slides in very nicely. Just like, that's what I like about Ramen Toys. They put so much detail into actually making the figures, and like they go through such a long process. Ace is so transparent with everything, and if something's not working, he fixes it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then you get these two crystal looking things. It's actually supposed to represent curium, which is like the element that everybody fights for on New Texas. Most of the storylines are about the bad guys trying to get the curium. It did pretty good detail on here. It's a see-through plastic, so if you do have a light, you can shine it through it. As you can see, it's reflecting in the lights. Really nice. We also get this necklace pendant, which if you can make out, it has some emblems of the bear, the wolf, the puma, the hawk. There's the bear I've been looking for my whole life. Not that kind of bear, no diddy. We also get this sheriff badge, marshal badge, star. It's a sheriff badge, but he's a marshal. Anyway, it's this star that he would use as a shield. It would come out of his arm. And as you can see here in the B-roll, there's a slot in the figure to put in the shield. We also get not one, but two hats. We get this hat right here. Very vibrant, bright, white and blue. Like this entire figure just is vibrant, a lot like the cartoon was. So even though the figure itself is a little bit more realistic, they still kept that bright, cartoonish, bright aesthetic, which I really dig. This antenna on the side sticks out, I think, at just the right amount. I mean, I don't know how it matches up with the actual cartoon, but I think it's good because you really don't want a big antenna sticking out and then risk breaking it off. It's just enough to stick out so you can see it. We also get this second half, which has his shield here. bravestarr would use that shield to see it a little bit further, and the view would go digital. I'm not sure why he used that in the cartoon when he had the eyes of the hawk. Maybe he didn't want to use his eyes of the hawk. He just wanted to look cool. Sometimes you just want to wear some shades, man. Like, this is a futuristic Oakley's. Also has this nice antenna that comes down. Very sharp, very nice. We get two pairs of trigger fingers for holding the guns, holding the axe and whatnot. We get another two gripping hands, which is actually probably be better for gripping the axe than the other one. The other one just for the gun. I mean, you can do whatever you want with them. You can get it anywhere you can fit it, you know what I'm saying? Then you get these two open palm hands where you can really see the details of the blue, that very vibrant white, nice blue on the fingertips. Then you get the two fists that come on the figure itself, very nicely matching these gloves that are on here. Is a nice vibrant color, but still fits the realistic aesthetic, because look at this face, man. Great detail on the face, even the eyeballs. I don't know if it comes out the camera or not, but the light kind of shines off of the eyeballs. I don't know if there's like a gloss that's on there, but it really gives these eyes like a realistic look. Like, it's just not doing it justice in the camera. This cape that comes around the figure is really awesome. They're in a lot of desert, stormy area, so it's good to have a cape that's on there. Plus it's very Wild Westy. Details on the cape itself, like these shiny little metallic things here. I don't know if these are actually like gun shells or what these are. This belt has really nice detail as well. According to a post that Ace made, the belt was actually put on upside down by the factory, so we do got to flip that right side up, which we'll do here in a second. But first I want to just look at the legs, the detail that's on here. Like I said, it keeps that cartoony aesthetic, but in a realistic way. I mean, it just matches it nicely. Now with the cape on, you still get good articulation. You get like at least a T out of his arms. Figure can do the splits. All the joints are like fluid, but still tight. These shields that are on here don't hinder the articulation too much on here. You get good crunch out of them. I mean, this dude has just a lot of articulation. The head kind of moves all the way around. The ponytail is very articulated. So if you're somebody who likes to pose your figures, this is a great figure you're going to be able to pose. Get a nice toe hinge, ankle rock. Ankles are tight, so if you stand it up, they're not going to be loose and fall over, which is really awesome. Let's go ahead and flip the belt over for this guy. I'm assuming just taking apart this joint here. Okay, that joint came off. Gonna kind of flip this right back over. Since I'm taking it apart, I'm gonna go ahead and switch the head off, take off that cape so we can get a better look at that shield. And there we go, we got a better look at the shield that's actually on the figure, which is this white shield. It's a soft plastic for the shield. It actually comes apart. It has a little joint that's right here. Pull it off. Take off the head, of course. Makes it a lot easier if you just pull the head off. And nice, that's surprising. I didn't know this, but you get a more cartoon accurate version of his shirt because bravestarr just has this little blue thing that's on his shirt. So I really love that you have that option. Plus, I love this option even more. This blue shield, which the original bravestarr figure came with, little blue shield that most people lost. I lost it. The original figure also had this shiny star that the metal would rub off on at some point, but it goes on real easily, and there's actually pegs on both sides of the shield, and not just the one side you have to put on there. And the soft plastic pegs actually function pretty well. Usually when you have soft plastic pegs, they tend to like pop out all the time. This seems to stay in place pretty pretty good. Now this hat does go on there fairly nicely. You do have to kind of make sure you get it within the grooves. As you can see on the bottom of the hat, there's these little grooves on there, so it kind of fits the shape of the head. And if you don't get it on there right, it's gonna fall off. But once you have it on, Ace said that he tooled it so that it wouldn't fall off, and that's pretty accurate. It doesn't fall off once it's on there. It also looks pretty good on him as well, so I'm pretty satisfied with that. We also get this other hat with the shield. Of course, putting it on there, I mean, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to get it properly in the groove so that it doesn't fall off, but kind of had it there, not fully. This look right there is pretty awesome, and then in the B-roll you can see how even more awesome it looks and how it functions in different poses. So like I said, for a little comparison, here I got the original bravestarr figure, and I mean, this dude was just a big hunking figure. Like, look, this is basically a Native American Ken doll right here. Mine's been through some wear and tear. The leg's kind of broken off. Like I said, I'm missing the blue shield that was originally on here. I'm missing the hat. I was 2 when I got this figure. I'm not gonna keep everything that's on it. It's actually pretty good for a 2-year-old. So this guy that brought me joy because I thought he was Mexican, he's actually Indian, which Mexicans are kind of half Indian. All my family's from New Mexico, so I do got that Indian here. So yeah. It really brings me joy as an adult to have this version of a figure who I grew up with my entire life, just in my toy box at some point. This dude played with Turtles, Power Rangers, Batman throughout his, like, he played with everything throughout my life. So it's really awesome to have this figure right here in such great detail. There was another bravestarr figure that came out earlier this year from Dawson Toys, I believe, which, as you can see here, is a much smaller version of the figure. This Dawson Art Toys one is more like a SH Figure Arts style figure. It's more of a cartoon version, where this is a more realistic aesthetic to it. And honestly, I'm just happy to have both of them. One thing I like is these hands. In order to put the gun in, the plastic's very flexible, so you can kind of move the fingers, and then the gun fits in there very nicely. We also have these holsters that go in the side of the figure. They just kind of peg in there, as well as this axe pegs into the side of the figure there. This version of the face is very stern, but we also get a more smiley version of the face. Once again, I think here you can kind of see the light shining off of the eyes a little bit more, how it kind of glistens and glimmers there. That's just really cool. The detail on it's very great. So all in all, what I think of it, to be fair, I am a little bit of a Ramen toy fanboy. I mean, I have that CAC set of my Batmobile back here. I'm looking forward to that bread van that's coming out soon. Even though I wanted the white version, I got the black version because the black one only comes with all those extra parts. Anyway, it's extra details I don't need to talk about. We'll talk about this figure. The figure's great. All right, this is a figure that's near and dear to my heart. The first figure I ever collected was a bravestarr figure. Having this updated version of it is it just touches a different spot on me. Once again, no Diddy. Now, what would I like to see from this line? I know they got that 3030 figure that they showed off before. I mean, that of course would be the next figure in the line that I would love to see. It's already coming, so I'm very excited about that. The next obvious thing for me would be a non-transformed version of 3030. Preferably you can get like in a 2-pack or just buy together or something. That way you can have this marshal riding a horse, which it's just, as a cowboy, you just kind of need that. After that, of course, they're going to need somebody to fight, so I would love to have an updated Tex Hex that's a little bit more accurate to the cartoon, yet realistic, to match this figure. And beyond that, there's a lot of cool characters in this storyline I could do with or do without. What I would really like to see that Ramen does great is 2 things. One is one of those futuristic vehicles. They kind of ride these futuristic motorcycle type hoverboard things. Would love to have one of those. Also, Mattel originally came out with a playset which was like a saloon, and now that Ramen Toys is getting into Ramen Dio with their Musk that's coming out, which I can't wait to pre-order that one. It would be cool just to have a playset background version of a little futuristic saloon to pose your figures with. Would also love to see the shaman, and beyond that, anything extra that would come in the line would be awesome, but those things are like key for me that I would love to have them. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. If you guys want to see my review of the bravestarr figure from Dawson Art Toys, you're going to want to click this video right here. And if you're going to want to subscribe, click this little thing right here. You're going to want to subscribe. Hit that like button. And once again, appreciate you guys stopping by. We'll see you guys next time.